was proposing. This was one of them. How it got out there, I left here to go home to read. I don't want to make it sound trivial, but there's a lot of other problems in this town, and I have to do that on a day-to-day basis. So I got out of here, went home. At 4:45, I got numbers back from our finance director on what the cuts could be. Yes, 1.56 was on the high side, but there are other mitigating factors that I had. Not less than maybe an hour and a half later, when I went to Tom Taylor's Republican of the Year dinner, I found out, hey, did you look on townleaders.com? I said, why? Your cut's already out there. I said, are you kidding me? What is it? So you can ask anybody who went to the Republican of the Year dinner, and you'll know that I was shocked.
Talk to Tom Taylor.
Yeah, that's not what we heard, though.
That's not.
You never consulted with Dr. Palmer and Mr. Trump.
Inside just now, you said you have no idea where or when it came from. That's what you said.
I don't know where it came from to put on town leaders.
That's beside the point.
It is beside the point.
Whatever. Move on. How'd you get to the number?
We still haven't gotten how you got to the
Just
number.
answer that question.
But more importantly, Mr. Vavrek, what do you say? You said that
Right.
439 people voted no.
Right.
I know, you said you were out there talking to parents who said it's too high, it's too high. I will tell you that I know personally more than 100 parents who now say it's too low.
Right.
Those same people that you talk to are saying it's too low.
And that was.
What do you say to those people?
That is one of the reasons I went to 399. You always hear about the magic number. I stood behind this budget because I didn't want to lay anybody off. But when people told me, with school-age kids like this, businesses that can't afford to open your door.
Who are they?
Name some.
Oh boy. Yeah, thanks for the common sense.
But at the feet of 8% to have such a drastic cut, I'm a numbers person. It doesn't make sense. It does not add up.
How many times must we go through a referendum? Look at last year's budget. The lowest out the door increase ever, and it still went down 3 times. And this is a worse economy. And this is a much worse economy.
It was a very came earlier. That's why it went down the first time.
What about all of us who voted yes? You said you're listening to the people. What about all those people who came out and voted yes? Are you listening to us? You're not. By raising it that much, you are not listening. By cutting it that much.
And refusing to put an advisory question.
And what about the people who did vote no and now are saying it's too low, you've cut too much? They are out there. I will give you their names if you want them. They are out there.
And are they still going to vote no?
No.
Vote no because I won't support this kind of cut to education.
What are you going to do when it fails the next time?
Because it will.
Fail the next time.
How do you know that? Can you guarantee you will not reduce it if it fails?
I can't guarantee anything. I mean, but if people continue to vote no, we're going to have to continue to make cuts.
Then why can't we have an advisory?
Absolutely.
What are you afraid of with the advisory question on the ballot?
All right.
Why can't it be brought to the
It's in the town charter, section 8. You absolutely can put an advisory question on the ballot.
And the town council makes that decision, not the selectmen. I will make a motion tonight at the town council meeting to put it on the ballot.
Good for you. I'm proud of that. But the bottom line
Thank you
is,
for your respect, Mr. Vavrek. Appreciate it.
you're welcome.
Please don't be disrespectful.
I'll stand back here.
Please don't be disrespectful.
I'm not just
Mr. Vavrek,
yes.
why is it that everything you talk about is what they say in the flyers that we get from Friends of Democracy, like numbers from other towns?
Why are you using their numbers?
This is such skewed information, and it doesn't have all the facts. It doesn't say that Trumbull had a 12% increase last year, and this is why they can afford to not have such a big increase.
These numbers did not come.
It's skewed. You don't have any history of their past they don't even have referendum votes of their past tax increases. Stop comparing our town to other towns when it's not true. Because you know what? I know people who get that in the mail and they were going to vote yes. They get that in the mail and they don't do the research and they say, what do I do now? Look at what all the other towns are doing. Why do you let people do that, and why do you say that at a meeting with the public here? Why are you spreading skewed information? Because it sends out
The numbers that I had that I read to you did not come from FOD. If you like,
but they have them.
But it's the same tactic.
At home that I got in the mail 2 weeks ago, and they're the exact same numbers.
It's the same tactic.
Apples and
It's
oranges.
the same thing. When you just said Trumbull, you didn't say, oh, by the way, Trumbull had a 12% increase in 2009, but this year they're not having we have a higher increase. What was our increase last year? Exactly. They had a $3 million rainy day fund.
I don't think our town has ever voted to have reserves. Every time we have reserves, they say we don't need reserves. And that's why the other towns can have lower budget. They have planned for the future, but our no voters won't let us plan for the future. They won't let us plan for the future by having reserves and contingency funds. We need someone to stand up
To stand up for your
and be a leader.
Are you prepared to have more of this? Are you prepared for there to be a possible walkout? Are you prepared for us to get more people and bring more news people in and constantly be on your